Generic greetings and welcome back once again to a cold autumn's morning in Prison Architect, where prisoner Scott Grant is being released and as such is heading down here and not, as I thought, trying to escape. Good. Anyway, in the previous episode, we really got on with construction on the left-hand side here. We got, obviously, the staff room, staff canteen, kitchen, and standard canteen all built, and that's pretty good, and obviously placed a lot of flooring. We also planned out our visitation, mailroom, shop, library, double library, in fact, and a classroom, but I'll sort those out in a moment. Either way, we're going to be cracking on this episode with the remainder of these, so let's see how we get on. So a couple of things first. As I said, the library we need to change. Also, for the flooring, we do need to place that flooring in there. For our intake, I did say total prisoners rather than number per day because I'm an idiot. And what else do we need to do? Oh yes, over here, utilities. I mentioned that when you place these items to the right-hand side, they will generate some of these electrical cables, and as you can see, it's placed them in a very, very strange way, so I'm going to actually do that to fix the issue. And also, I'm going to go over to our objects, scroll right to the bottom, and dismantle, and I'm going to dismantle all of the lights in each of these cells, because we need to build these cells sooner rather than later, and that's what we'll be focusing on in this episode. But what I want to do is build one of them, so in this case the bottom one here will be built, and then I'll clone it up. But if I don't remove the lights, it's going to cause all manner of issues. Anyway, over to our rooms, and obviously we do need to remove one of the libraries, and over to the classroom we're going to remove that as well. I'm going to put in the chapel, which is something that I forgot, which will go in there. We will place... what else do we need to place? We need a parole, which will go in, which is going to be probably that side. So let's just pause it. Chapel, parole, library, shop, and mailroom. What else do we need then? So we have... visitation, yes. Library, yes. Forestry, no. Classroom, yes. Classroom, that was it. Classroom... and I think that is what I wanted to do. Chapel, parole, classroom, library. Actually, I like the idea of the... oh, no, that's actually fine. That's actually fine. I was going to say I like the idea of the classroom being next to the library, but it actually is next to the library. Although, just for the sake of... I wouldn't even call it completeness. What I'm going to do is go for a parole next to the shop. So if they don't pass parole, they can go and get some chocolate and comfort food or something. And then we'll have our... it would be a classroom followed by a library in between. So you can pick whatever book you want from there, religious or what otherwise. And there we go. So that's a little bit better laid out. Still obviously some changes to be made and still not perfect, but well, it never will be. And also the bit of flooring that we missed in there. So a lot of little micro changes, but all pretty much sorted. Oh, and I think I also want to place a light in here because, well, when you're sitting there in the dark, it's probably not great. We have a little chat with the warden here. So prisoners' demands for more free time have been indulged for long enough, so you can feel free to change your schedule back if we do so desire. We definitely desire. So let's go to free time. Work free time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Programs, reschedule all programs, make sure they all work. Edit the schedule to check out where we've got death row appeal there, parole hearing for max sec, and the rest is set up as appropriate. Yeah, that is good. Okay, let's go ahead and go down to this cell. And let's have a quick look at the sort of cell that we want to make. So actually, quick over to logistics, supermax grading. We can see we're on 65 of 225. Mid-sec is already double that, and there's almost nothing there. We don't even have any cells, but we can see over on room quality, these are grading 0 out of 15. In fact, we have a +1 for the room size being at 6, but 3 minuses. Surrounded by depressing walls, no windows, and a PA system in the cell block. So immediately, these ones don't suffer from one of those. It doesn't have a PA system in the cell block, but it does, or it is surrounded by the really bad walls. And that was sort of, well, right at the start we did say that, you know, we wanted to have that sort of thing. We wanted to be quite a weather-worn, sort of sea-beaten area. That was the whole idea of this thing, rather than a bit of an aesthetic choice, I guess, but the main one was to have it as a facility that is in its sort of twilight of its years, a bit like sort of Alcatraz. I think that was one of the reasons why Alcatraz was retired. That it was basically it's just getting weather worn, beaten by the sea and the waves and the salt air. It's it's going to corrode things. It's going to massively weather the things. So that's what we have here. And the phone's red hot. One of the spiritual leaders we bring in for our religious programs has been riling up the inmates with all kinds of hateful speech. Gloomhaven is a bad board game, change my mind. They've been fired. That is hate speech. They've been fired, but the prisoners will take some time to cool down. Okay, that is a thing. So I've just placed some objects in here in the cells. We've got our nice comfy bed, a bookshelf. We've got a shower with a drain, toilet, and that's a sink and a mirror, which if we go over to over to objects, it doesn't actually, does it populate that? Oh, it does populate the sink and mirror. That's fine. I was going to say, I don't think it previously did, but if we check out logistics and room quality, you can see that it is one of those there. It does say sink and mirror as a +1. What we also want to do is check out our objects and a large window, which we'll place in the outside there, and a door, which will go there, and then it'll become a cell. And flooring, I'm going to go... Normally I'd go with iron floor, but I think we'll have a little bit of carpet. As if this is like, luxury cell. 5 stars. Perhaps not, but you get the idea. So, let's have a quick look at the grading. Logistics, room grading. Currently graded as a 4 out of 5. Okay. The reason for that is... So actually a window is one of the best things you can place in here. Especially if you place it in the right area. So at the moment, we have a -1 for no windows. However, if we place any window, it will remove that -1. So that'll immediately increase our grade to 5 out of 15. If you have a large window, which is what we've placed, that's another +1, so that'll go to 6 out of 15. And because it's an outdoor window, that's another +2. So one window could potentially net you 3 positive grading, which is what we've got there. And that's brought it up to 8, which I think we will probably place a radio in... Probably a radio next to the bed. I think a radio next to the bed would be reasonable. And once that's done, I'm going to clone that and clone it up, well, quite an extent there. So receiving in just under 4 hours, 9 Supermax inmates and 1 death row inmate. And obviously they will come in here and then work the way around. That's something we normally don't do, but it's something that we are going for just for the cash, basically. That's the reason for that. And obviously the capacity is somewhat of... It's underused over here, so we might as well place them. We can see that these have now been built, so over to our quick build and cloning. We will clone all of that and go ahead and build it. Each one of these costs quite a bit of money. It costs, what, 2,000 odd each one? And that's actually blocked. I can't build that. That's strange that I can't build that. Blocked for some reason. Okay, I don't know why, but I'll let it just crack on there. There's a lot of money being spent. Let's go over to our intelligence and informants, and you can see that we have a lot of traits on these prisoners. Although they got Stokel, that Stokel prisoner is classed as Supermax, yet I would argue that tough and extremely quick is worse. Extremely deadly and extremely quick, even worser. That's a word now. And I don't know why the categories are made up like they are. I assume, perhaps wrongly, that also a lot of these prisoners, well, none of them rather, will be rated as ex-law enforcement or anything, but you never know. Let's go over to our intake once again. We're going to say filter capacity. We're going to close off our Supermax. We're going to keep open our death row, our legendary prisoner, and also our max sec. We'll go over to here, which we currently have Mike Hunt, and we will go for a recruit informant on them because we might as well. We have Ed Brindley, Paul France, and Dan Eads, I believe, over here. Let's have a check out of Dan, actually. So Dan, we can see, has an unknown reputation, Prisoner number 3352717, sentenced to 76 years for multiple crimes, including murder, grievous bodily harm, rape, armed robbery, and torture. And there we go. There's all of the prisoners cracking on over on this side here. And did they remove that wall? Is that wall being removed? Yes, that wall has been removed in order for them to build it. Strange. They shouldn't remove the wall. I might have to just build... I might just have to build the central part of it and then place the windows manually. That's not a problem. Just going to double check our deployment here. And this is not set at the moment to the right grading. And that's because I think some of this leads to the outside. Right, that is actually of quite large concern. Okay. Because I'm worried that some people maybe... there might be some people escorted over here. I'm hoping not. But we'll see. I think an automatic door opener around here would be of some benefit. But I might place it on this island. Because if we place an automatic door opener here to open these doors, it means that... if they break through this door and smash that, they then have access to all these three, which is not good. On this one, we don't have any automatic door openers, but it doesn't seem to cause as much problems. But to be fair, we're only getting these issues because of the building, so no, we should hold our nerve and wait a little bit. In terms of money, we're now okay. 34,000 plus change generic units of currency. We have one cell completed, the other one's obviously getting built and taking quite some time, but they will get there. We have to put in the heating, which I'm not yet done, which we will sort out sooner rather than later. I'm guessing one water boiler here and one water boiler here will be sufficient, because we can just run the pipes over. Although we may need one back here to fill the rest of this. But none of it is a huge amount of drama. In fact, we might get away with a water boiler there to go across. There is a death there. Alex Sexton. We can see they have taken out that guard. And we do have free fire on, so this armed guard is dealing with that, shall we say. Yep, that's threat dealt with, so fine. We're going to max speed out. This now is completed, which is good. And all we'll have to do is wait for the rest of them. And obviously they're getting sorted as they progress on. But you can see there, look. 5 maximum security. Oh, that is correct though. 5 maximum security is what we can have. I thought it was opening this up and this was changed, but it has actually altered itself back over to the medium sec, which is something I'm pretty happy with. Good. Anyway, so we're not going to place any more cells, I don't think, although we will check our transfers. So for our maximum security, we have 0 prisoners motivated to qualify and 0 prisoners that qualify now. So I'm thinking once we build the chapel and the library and all of this, they will want to transfer over, even though, to be fair, looking at our... Hang on, let's have a quick look at max sec rating 111 and min sec rating is 104. I checked the super max last time, 65. Yeah, so this is not high enough yet. Don't worry, once we put all these in, they'll really want to go there, he says without any degree of confidence. Right, over to our walls and then to the wall rusty, and we'll place a rusty wall along there, and we're going to do pretty much the same for... Actually, I think I'll do that. For the mail room and the shop, although the shop requires... Yes, people do... Well, we do need access to the front of the shop, don't we? Yeah. I don't know where the doors are going to go in that, so I'm going to be a little bit hesitant as to where exactly I'm going to place that. And there we go. There's all of that in. Bit of ultra-violence around here. Yeah, that person. We've got the 2 snipers here, by the way. I know we should really have another 2 more, but the problem with that is they cost 550 per day. So that's going to half our daily cash flow, and it's something I just can't afford. And once again, we have this. Yeah. And also, this checkpoint is almost certainly of no use, I don't think, because they're escorted, but it's in now. At least the break room's up, and this is working as well, which I'm happy with. So the shop now no longer has a way in, and I think also the chapel... Oh, it was similar, but looks like they've managed to sort that. So we're going to go over to our walls and doors, and then standard door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. For the... Let's have a look. Visitor door. You do need a visitor door for the visitation, naturally. Mailroom, no. I don't think you need access to that because it's the workers that bring the stuff over. The shop, same thing. Parole, yes. Classroom, yes. Library, no. Chapel, yes. I think that's correct. Although, we'll have to check out some of this. We also don't have an infirmary over on the other, in the centre. I realise that as well. But 1, 2, 3. Yeah, classroom, parole, and chapel is in, and visitation. Yeah, so that's actually fine, what we've done there. Right, let's go ahead and sort this out. Over to then our... It's recommending shop front, which I'm going to place in there because we can. So over here it says sorting table and a table and then being closed. So we're getting some of that done. Sorting tables will go in the centre. 1, 2, 3. Followed by... When in doubt, place a bin. Any rubbish that's mail after it's been sorted, you can just put in the bin. Makes perfect sense. And then we can place a small table in there. So that's the mailroom done. Shop requires a shop front, which we have placed, a table and a shop shelf. So the shop shelf can go again along like that. It's not going to be a very big shop, but it will be there. And also we need a standard table, which I think we'll go for, once again, that either side. That is good. Parole simply requires a visitor table. Classroom requires an office desk. I think I'll place it in there. And then school desks. School desks. Like so. Library is library shelf and a sorting desk. Sorting desk, 1, 2, 3. Bin. And library shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chapel. Altar, which goes there. There, I think, or maybe there. With the pews. No, I think I'll move it. But the pews will be along like that. Altar in the front. Annoys me that it doesn't go in the middle. Like that. And then sort of prayer mats along this side. That's more than enough for our needs. And then I think flooring, wooden floor. And then I think it's mosaic for the visitation. Followed by any little bit here that we need to place, which most of it will be done anyway, but we'll manage. There we are. Okay, so this will all be medium sec, like it should be there. And with those built, that'll be very high graded now, I think. At least it'll be higher graded than this. Naturally, we haven't got any area for the low risk, which is over on this side, but we're not concerned about that at the moment. We also don't have any infirmary, gym, or common room, which is another problem, but that's going to be probably in the centre. Let's not worry about that for now. I think focus should be, now that it's snowing, on heating. So heating, we can place a boiler in here and run it down and across to probably do most of these areas. It's the distance I'm always unsure about, because I think it has changed over the years. But that's gone up there and right across, so realistically it could do these. But anything in the centre here that I'm going to place, it's not going to be able to power heat. So I'll need a boiler there. That's not unreasonable at all. Put a little building there, no problem. And then down here, a boiler. I think I'm just going to put it in the kitchen, and then that'll get the rest of it. 3 boilers. I don't think that's unreasonable. Okay, water boiler. Water boiler will go in there. Water boiler will go in there eventually, and water boiler will go in here now. This, though, what I want to do is make sure that we can section it off, because it's just there's be too much heat in there, I think. Alright, that's placed. Foundations more, and a rusty foundation, and I want to place it in an area where we can still have this stuff the outside, so that is exactly where it needs to be, which is pretty good. And then a staff door, which will go on there as well. Naturally, we'll have to run all of the piping and all of that, yeah. I'm going to do a shakedown, but I'm only going to do it in max sec because, well, basically, this area, it's very difficult to get contraband in. This area, it's very difficult to get contraband in. In fact, these areas, I would say it's almost impossible. I'm not going to say impossible. I'm not going to go on record as a definitive answer for that, because if I go over to our, if I go last 7 days, yes, we have found a knife there. Although it was detected, and it was stolen. Didn't last long though, did it? Whoa. Okay, that's actually trying to say a wooden pickaxe in reception, but it's just because it's on the same place. Oh, there we go. Wooden pickaxe. So it was stolen from the helipad by Paul France. Didn't get very far with that, did they? But obviously in the centre here, this is where we get most of the contraband because of the being thrown over the wall thing. And then we detect it very quickly, either at these metal detectors here, see detected, stolen, and then detected, and then most of it is from there. I mean, yeah, you can see that the checkpoint's on the way out. They're just finding mobile phones. Yeah. So, there's that. Double checking our deployment. Still set correctly, which is good. And I reckon now, if we check our grading, 107, still not there yet. Doesn't have a gym, doesn't have a common room. Right. Canteen quality is also very low. Okay, let's increase that then. That's something we can do now. So, fans, drinks machines, snack machines, water coolers, and plants. And we don't have windows. Ah, actually also, some of it is because there's no meals being served, so we never get the meal quality bonus. Alright. Well, we can increase the grading on this one. So a large window. Put a large window there, and a large window there. Not a problem at all. It said drinks and snack machines, I think, but I'm going to double check that. 4 plants, a fan, and a drink and snack machine. Okay. So plants, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our plants. In there, I was going to place a bin, which I will. I'll also, while I remember, place that wall. And we need a fan. Where can we place these? Place them anywhere we want. Get the smell out if we put it there. No. Maybe in that corner. And snacks and drink machines. If I place them to either side of this. Maybe in the centre? How about 2 drinks machines there? 2 there, 2 there. Like that. And then snack machines either side. There you go. And that should be a nice grading on that. I'm actually going to move those down a little bit. To there. And then those as well. And that should be a nice grade. That should be a very nice grade. It's already 4 of 10. Already been increased. And, oh, that also needs to be increased in its quality. Even though that canteen... No, it doesn't. No, we've had that previously where that canteen is graded 0 out of 10. But it doesn't need to be a good one. Because it's improves the grade of the prisoners. But that's not accessible by prisoners. It's just a sort of holdover from previous things. Now this here... We don't get any bonuses for extra school desks after 10. So what I'm tempted to do is place in some items that'll make this increase in grade. So it says 2 bookshelves, a blackboard and a water cooler. Alright. There's a blackboard. Darn. It ain't going to fit. I could move the door. I am going to move the door. Door's now moved. So there's the blackboard. If it doesn't go on the right on the back, I assume it will, but... No, actually, no, never assume anything. No, it didn't. Unless you place the wall, and it didn't. Let's move it around. Is that the right orientation? It should be. The chalk's there. Yeah, it's just daft. Anyway, blackboard's now in. And... water cooler. Which... What I'm going to do is... dismantle those ones at the back. We don't need any more than 10. I would have thought you might get a grading at 20, but... because of the size of this, it's not happening. There's your water cooler. And it did say 2 outdoor windows and 2 bookshelves. I think the bookshelves... Oh, 2 bookshelves. Oh yeah, we can get 3 in the back. Perfect. So a really high grade on that one. Good. Okay. That's built, technically. So wall will go in there. The flooring... What have we gone for the flooring on this one? Just a bit of pathway. Cheeky bit of pathing. Okay. Concrete tiles. As if, like, require access for maintenance, which they will at some point. And same thing up the top, I guess, because they do need access to that. And there's that in. Utilities. Water boiler. Goes in there. Water... pipe, large water pipe, and large water pipe, electrical cable, and how we're doing? Fine, no problem. Oh, this also, does that require power? No, it doesn't say it shouldn't do. Okay, so we have that placed. I'm not going to have a radiator in each of the cells. I don't think it is necessary, but we do obviously want heat in some of the other ones. So a radiator. We will place a radiator just opposite. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 there. Is that right? So it's in the middle of the 3. Yeah, so there's them 3's that radiator. Those 3 that radiator. Those 3's that radiator. Those 3's that radiator. I've already messed it up. I've just bought loads of radiators. I should really just measure the distance. Because it's the same distance. But then I can't do it in the same thing. Okay. We'll just have to put up and shut up. So it's about that distance. Yep. It should be... Yep, I'm just eyeballing the distance. And then checking the thing for it, which should be about right. And... wow, after all that, it actually fit in perfectly well. I'm very happy and surprised about that. Okay, good. So, radiator once again then. So, back to radiator. We've got 14 radiators because I just bought loads of them. And we'll place a radiator probably either side there. Radiator next to the fan, somewhat ironically. We should be fine with that. Radiator can go over there. That should be enough in here. This doesn't require a radiator. The staff room will. And that room will as well. The security room perhaps also. Getting access to that radiator is going to be a problem. Visitation we haven't yet finished off, but I will place it later on. Radiator's in here. Radiator in here. Here. Right, I'm going to dismantle that one. Because otherwise we won't have access to... Well, we won't have space for the radiator. So I can go in there. In here. In here. And because these rooms will need to be warm, like the corridors, I am going to place them like that as well. Not all the way along, you understand. Just enough to warm it up. And I think probably some lighting as well, because it's a little bit dark around here. No uniform lights, but there you are. Gonna remove some of the planning that we don't need to see anymore, and there we are. Okay. Water pipe. How are we going to do this? Right down like so. I think that would function. To power the rest... To power. I keep saying power the rest up, but you know what I mean. Connect up. And that should be lit in there. Once I place the lights... Oh, they're trying to place the lights. Yeah. Electrical cable is in all the places that it needs to be placed. And then hot water pipe we will place now. So this one... We're going to run down and across, because it'll have the same on that other side. For this one, similar deal, but it's going to run like so. And then we'll have to run up a certain way and down a certain distance. I think we'll manage that, but these ones will require some different pipe work. And I'm a bit concerned that some of these might not reach. We'll have to see. I'm just trying to place it the most efficient way possible. But I don't know if I'm going to manage it, and I don't know if all of it's going to be connected. I'm certainly concerned about some of those. Right, that's a lot of piping. That's a lot of pipe work. Yeah. Okay. That's going to take quite a while for them to sort that, but... Oh, I think one of the death row inmates has been transferred over to here. Let's see. On our grading, 116 as opposed to 113, so there might be some transfers now. I don't think it's going to be high enough for them to warrant it. No. Oh, hang on. Yeah, 9 prisoners are motivated. So we have started that motivation for them want to move over from here. Same thing for the Supermax, but none of them have ever made it, I don't think. Let's just check our prisoners. Where are they? Donnelly, no. I can't remember which one is transferred over. Eads and Brindley. There's one of those inmates that's been transferred over here, but... Oh, there's a legendary prisoner. Supermax. And that should be about it. Unknown trait there. Cop killer there. The rest should be okay. Alright, we are going to leave it there for now. I'm fairly happy with what we've accomplished. It's been a lot of the finery, shall we say. So a lot of the extra bits that you don't necessarily need, but in this case we've needed to do, well, obviously sans these cells, because we did need them, and the temperature stuff, the radiators, but the rest of it, like all the extra flooring and the shop and all of this was all built just to have the prisoners, you know, wanting to transfer over. That was That was all it was made for. And let's place in these because, well, as soon as we do that, we also now get another bonus. So happy with that. Next episode, what we're going to do is plan out and almost certainly build, maybe in its entirety, but we haven't got the money. Let me see our intake. Supermax, we could fill to capacity. What I'll do is that. That'll be better for us. We'll get some more prisoners there. So we'll get more prisoners, and we'll plan off this area in the centre. Roughly, something like that. It'll be equal yard either side, followed by, at minimum, 3 buildings in the centre. Common room, yard, infirmary and morgue. But obviously that'll require planning and working through all that. So we'll see, as always, how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings. Options, graphics.